Well, hi again, hockey fans. Welcome into year number 2, edition number 1 of CCHA Now. It's a pleasure and an honor to be back with you here on CCHA Productions and our weekly show. Throughout the show all season, we'll give you highlights, our top 10 plays of the week. We'll take a look at our CCHA profiles. We'll have rewinds and special interviews as we indeed will celebrate the legacy of 42 years of the Central Collegiate Hockey Association. Well, so far in 2 weeks of the CCHA season here in 2012, Notre Dame is the top team, but the Irish have 5 teams nipping at their heels in second place. There is a lot of parity, no question about it, already in the CCHA. As we did last year and as we'll do this season, let's kick it off with our top 10 plays of the week. And with the number 10 play of the week, we begin in East Lansing. In at number 10, Bowling Green put together a solid defensive effort against Michigan State. Andrew Hammond, 29 saves, aggressive all night for his first ever win against MSU. It was a shutout, folks. He got some help from his D-corps, and it was Connor Kucera, the only goal of the game, in a 1-0 Bowling Green win on Friday night. Up to the Great White North for play number 9 in Alaska. The Nanooks and the Lakers of Lake State. Dan Radke with a big weekend. He drives the slot here and lights the lamp, made it a 2-0 game in a 4-2 Lakers win on Saturday night. Play number 8 down to Ohio, Bowling Green and MSU. Andrew Hammond, a much different night than Friday night, tries to clear the puck up the far side wall, but a bad bounce, and it goes right to Brent Darnell, who sets up Reimer. That made it 2-0. Lee Reimer's goal proved to be the game winner in a 6-1 MSU win. To the Ute for play number 7, Northern Michigan hosting Michigan, and a couple of high-scoring games in this series. Reed Seckel, as all good players, followed his shot, scored a pretty goal to help the Wildcats beat Michigan on Saturday night. Still in the Ute for play 6, it's Michigan's captain, A.J. Triace. Continues to be red hot, rips home the power play goal from Boo Nieves, his CCHA leading 7th of the season for A.J. Triace in at number 6 this week. And coming up a little bit later in this week's edition of CCHA Now, we'll give you plays 5 through 1 in our always popular top 10 plays of the week. Well, as you may or may not know, this is the final year of the CCHA, 42 years strong, and the CCHA has been, in my opinion, the best conference for the last half dozen years in college hockey. We are celebrating the legacy. Throughout the course of the season, we'll hear from many current and former players and coaches with their thoughts and their memories on the CCHA. Today, we hear from Northern Michigan head coach Walt Kyle, now in his 11th season at Northern Michigan. He also played at Northern Michigan, so certainly Walt has plenty of great memories about the CCHA.
Well, I transferred from Boston College to play at Northern Michigan after my sophomore year. And my brother John was here along with several guys that I played junior hockey with, Keith Hansen and Mike Melke. And we had a real good team at Boston College the year before, played in the NCAAs. I'd had an injury and had to leave school to transfer here. And these guys all loved it here. They all loved playing for Rick Comley. And so for me, it was a great spot to go, familiar faces in the kind of environment I wanted to be with, the kind of coach I wanted to play for.
Well, time to move on now and take a look at a snippet of this week's CCHA Rewind. It features a couple of teams that will be tangling this weekend in Ann Arbor on Friday and at Munn on Saturday night. Those Spartans and those Wolverines. We look back now, a sampling of the Big Chill in this week's installment of our CCHA Rewind.
Triace goes down low to Winnett, and now Chad Langlis. One-timer, score!
The slap shot from the point. The pass is over. It's perfect in Merrill's wheelhouse. And the torque on the stick. Check this out. Everything on it, and then there's a deflection.
And again, we want to remind you that our CCHA Rewinds will be the full edition on the CCHA website, ccha.com, every Thursday, so you can get a full look at some great memories throughout the course of the season. Time to move our attention now to a sterling freshman from Livonia, Michigan, Riley Barber, who in the summer was drafted by the Washington Capitals. He was the National Rookie of the Month last month in October. He's off to a great start for Rico Blasi and the Redhawks, playing on a line with big rugged winger Curtis McKenzie and another Michigan product, Austin Zarnik. Our CCHA Productions crew caught up with Riley Barber earlier this week.
Yeah, it's a really great award to win. We got off to a great start, and also my line mates. We've been playing great together, so credit to the team for sure. It was good to get Tommy a win here, but you know, he just gave us some insight on, you know, the boards and, you know, definitely how to play in the small rink, so it was great. Yeah, I talked to my dad the day he texted me and said congrats, but, you know, he said that it only starts here and you got a whole season left, so keep it going.
And congratulations certainly in order to Riley Barber out of Livonia, Michigan. His dad, also a former college hockey player, spent some time at Bowling Green. And well, Livonia is certainly a hotbed, folks. The list of CCHA players that have come from Livonia is endless. Ryan Kessler, think of this, folks. He went from Livonia, went to Columbus, and most recently, he's the captain of the Vancouver Canucks. He's an outstanding two-way forward. And here now a sampling of this week's CCHA profile with Ryan Kessler.
Ortmeyer over to get it. Ortmeyer was belted.
You know, I had a great roommate in Rod Pelly, who plays for the Ducks now, and we're, you know, best buds, and you know, we still communicate.
Their first title since 1972 when they beat St. Louis.
You don't play that many games, but every game's that intense, and I think, you know, that's what really gets you ready is the intensity.
And you can see the entire CCHA profile this week on Livonia's Ryan Kessler. That'll debut on ccha.com coming up on Friday of this week. Well, the latest USCHO.com poll is out. The CCHA, as always, folks, well represented. This week, a six-pack of teams in the top 20. And we'll start with Miami at number 5 after their split with Ferris State. They're 5-2-1. They're in at number 5. Notre Dame off to a great start, taking on Boston College this weekend. They're in at number 7 at 6-2-0. Western Michigan, they split with Notre Dame. They're at number 10 at 4-2-0 so far. Michigan, number 12, big series for the Wolverines coming up, as we mentioned, with the Spartans this weekend in the home and home. Northern Michigan, they're in at number 16, and Bob Daniels and the Bulldogs come in at number 18 so far with a record of 3-3-2 on the season. Well, mid-November and the CCHA schedule getting hot, and the TV schedule getting hot as well. Big couple of games on the air this weekend. Comcast, Xfinity, Channel 900 will have both the Friday and Saturday games in the Michigan State Series. 7:30 on Friday, yours truly, along with Sean Richland, former Wolverine, former Spartan Lyle Fair. Saturday night we'll be up at Munn, 7 o'clock start, all three of us on the game, so we're really looking forward to that. We'll give you some great access, as always, on the broadcast of Michigan and Michigan State coming up this weekend. And with that said, folks, time to get to our top 5 plays of the week, continuing on with our top 10. And a lot of scoring up there in Marquette in the series between Northern and Michigan. Wildcats catch Michigan sleeping here. Scott McCauley sneaks in on the right side, and then he finishes in style in at number 5 this week. To the comp, the Compton Family Ice Arena in South Bend for play number 4. Austin Wuthrich sets up Stephen Fogarty, a little give and go. He comes down the slot. Power play goal made it an easy Irish win as they skated to a 4-0 victory over Western Michigan. In at play number 3 this week, back to Bowling Green, Jake Chelios. Think he learned a thing or two from his dad. Great feed to Matt Barry, the power play goal right there. Easy one for Barry. Michigan State won the hockey game 6-1 on Saturday night. Back to South Bend for play number 2 this week, Chase Ballasy. Great mitts, great vision, and a great bag full of tricks on this goal. He dangled nearly every guy on the ice. That made it 3-1 in the power play, and it held up as the game winner for Western Michigan on Friday. And in at number 1 this week, drum roll please, everyone in Big Rapids buzzing about this goal. Justin Buzzio with some brilliant moves, then goes shelf for the goal against Miami in a 3-0 shutout win against the Redhawks. That indeed, folks, is our number 1 play of the week. Well, that's it for our debut edition here in 2012 of CCHA Now. Special thanks to all the folks that work so hard on the CCHA Productions crew. We appreciate their efforts each and every week. Impossible, folks, not to follow us, the CCHA, that is. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and of course, you can always go to ccha.com for the latest and greatest on the CCHA. Until next week, Ben Holden here. Enjoy the games, and we'll do it again with an all-new action-packed edition of CCHA Now. See you at the rink.